Welcome to your ground. Your voice is amplified, and this is good Boaz. I'm not with Hennings, one of the guys that has been around for 5 So I would like now you to break that down, go throughout this interview, and also tell us what it's all about, what is up right now. Hennings, welcome to the
Oh,
show.
hey, thanks a lot for having me, man. What a pleasure and honor. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Right. Let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about your upbringing. Where did you grow up?
Yo, I grew up from the city of Kings, Bulawayo, which is the second capital city of Zimbabwe. And yeah, man, growing up in Bulawayo is just something else. It's Bulawayo is the home of arts. You do agree with me, right?
Yeah.
Bulawayo is the home.
Yeah.
So basically, that's where art influence came from, man.
All right. So do you remember like your first interaction with arts as a kid growing up? Do you remember that this is the first time that I came across anything that I would define as art?
Yeah, man. I remember way back in primary school. Actually, like, I was always number one in all drawing competition. Whenever there's a drawing competition, I'll be up for it and I'll be number one. Then I got to the point where I was even like drawing comic books and I was selling comic books. I remember I think I was in grade three, grade four about there. That's about 8 years. When I was 8 years
Yeah.
old, I was like selling comic books and people would buy them. And I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So basically, I've just been a creative all my life, man,
All right.
until now. And yeah,
What was inspiring your comic books? Were you just drawing comic books from your head or just because of the cartoons that you're watching at the time?
okay, I was a comic book fanatic, the Batmans, the Supermans. Then I thought, yo, why don't I make my own superhero? I remember one of my tattoos was what Blue Tiger. I kind of, so I was inspired by all those Batman and the stuff. So basically, writing stuff and writing stories was my thing growing up. And I used to also tell stories, as a kid in class. Those are one of my things: story writing and comic book writing. So I mixed both of them from like way back.
All right. Uh, uh, I thought maybe you will say maybe your first interaction was the music because you were big on the hip hop scene. So how did you then pick hip hop out of all the genre or out of all the lifestyle that out there you found yourself pursuing?
Yeah, with hip hop, I think when I was in high school, we used to have these like competition that we had at school, and people would just be doing music. So I would rap, people's verses. I used to rap, like I'll take a Busta Rhymes song and start rapping. Then I'll say in about 2002, I got some friends from my neighborhood. The name of Torch Electric. I don't know if you know him, Moniz Zikali and Ronald Spindia.
Yeah.
His rap name was Space. Yes, they're called Zion Oasis, right? Yeah. So I linked up with those guys and see them going for shows, performing and stuff like that. That was my first interaction. And I'm like, I want to do what they do. So I began writing verses, going for ciphers. I remember Mlomo Wako with the Twarelo, Twarelo Mtovo and Brian Kabeta, if you still remember those guys from Akokoa.
Yeah.
And we used to link up and we do ciphers in the Centenary Park. It was something else, man. The memories are crazy, man.
All right. On the poetry side, do you remember like your first poetry, jotting down and saying, I want to write poetry? Do you remember something that you wrote down? And if you still can, maybe if you can give us just a single stanza from that.
Oh yes, one of my first poems was a love poem, and I think when I performed it at the art gallery, it was I think the Mlomo we used to call Sai Southern African Hip Hop Initiative. Yes, I
All right.
performed that and people went crazy. It was a lot like what, like Afro, okay, like Afro. You're beautiful from above, like Aphrodite's. I'll give you my whole rib cage, something like that. If you were, I was like, if I'll give you my whole rib cage, yeah, something like that. I forgot the piece. It made a hit back then.
Nice. Have you been able to use that poem on someone today?
Yes, I did. Obviously, easy to get. It was easy back then, to to charm them with the lyrics. Just write a poem and send it to her.
Nice. So what type of music were you listening to? Which artists or were you listening to on an international level? And also, what was the national radio playing at the time that you were like, I need to go and listen to the radio? Because I remember that the time you're talking about is the time when the radio was almost the only source of music outside maybe getting a cassette or a CD from some village after.
Yeah. Um, some of my musical influences. I remember my first hip hop band was the Wu-Tang Clan. You remember
All
those?
right.
Yeah, man. So I remember like those were my first. Then I remember I also listened to the Puff Daddies, the Nas. Nas played a big part in my life. Nas and the Braveheart crew, he played a big part in my life in shaping who my stage name was called the most quotable. Yeah. So I listened a lot of that. Then also my influence came from jazz. Jazz. I like Nina Simone. Even up till now, I listen to some of that music.
Yeah.
Samanjoe from South Africa. Samanjoe, her music is very good. I listen to a whole lot, even like some of the Motown sounds. Just as a hip hop head, you try to get the samples, get the sounds. So yeah, you end up listening to all kinds of stuff. So I found myself listening to lots of music, especially jazz influences. Yeah, and some of the crazy old school hip hop. That's my music.
All right. Nice. Now, how was hip hop received? For example, uh, for parents or in the community, was it easy to say, I'm a hip hop kid? You dress hip hop, you speak hip hop, you walk around hip hop. You have support from the elders, if I may ask.
Hey, it was tough, man. But I remember even in Blawayo, the guys who liked hip hop were called Oboyo. Because the guys who like to do American style. So they'll be like, you guys, masaladi, but I'm like, that's the music I love. But I remember with parents, don't look at you strange. Like, hip hop, because with hip hop, when you're kicking a freestyle, I'm on the microphone, 1, 2, 3, trying to kick home, and people be looking at you like, it's hard for them to. Only when they saw me on TV, they'll be like, I think I'll just name Soro. That type of thing.
Yeah. All right. And then you did beatboxing for the better part of your hip hop career. And you went as far as Haifa and stuff, right? Maybe you can take us through those two platforms and how did they come about and how did they work for you?
Okay. As a beatboxer, that all came from the hip hop scenery because we used to meet up, do ciphers. So when guys would do ciphers, they'll be like, yo, we need someone to put the beat. So I'll be the one who get and go. Just giving you a sample, eh? So I'll do like the beatboxing for them. Then I realized, what, I'm actually good at this. I got to live for like aerosol, aerosol.
Yeah.
You'd come and perform this side in Harare. So he called me up. I remember my first Haifa performance. He called me up. We did with me, Aerosol, and Pauline Frick. We did a live performance. And the guy from Germany, we did like a live session at the Haifa stage. Mandolin, Aerosol, me and Pauline, and yeah, it was crazy. I've got the link is on YouTube. I'll give you a link and you can check out the video.
Cool.
And then we used to do Mashoko Festival. If you remember the Mashoko Festival, I would go there, drop something. Then there used to be the book cafe. Yes, the tries to also do some stuff. I would mix beatboxing, the poetry, and the hip hop all together. So yeah, I went as far as actually making a beatbox album, but it was not released though. I did a beatbox
Why? Where's the
album, but
album? Where's the album?
I got the tracks. I listened to them at times. I'm like, I should release this, but I'm sure if I managed to get things clear, I'll just put it out there, for people to listen.
All right. With Starbright, how far did you go and how was it received? Because Starbright comes in with all different elements of art that is competing. How did you manage? How did beatboxing fare in that kind of environment?
When I got to Starbright, they were quite impressed the first time. I actually made it to like the quarterfinals of
Oh,
Starbright. Right. Then I got booted out. I was competing with the beatboxer Pro Beats. Pro Beats.
yes.
Denzel. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we were sleeping in the same room, and he managed to make it to the finals, and I got kicked out, man. But anyway, I was happy that a beatboxer won at the end of the day, even though it wasn't me. But it was quite an experience, man. Quite an experience.
All right, nice. So have you done any collabos in your career as a beatboxer, other hip hop elements, or even with a different genre, trying to fuse your beatboxing skill with whatever art that comes your way? So if so, is that type of music there online?
Yes, like I said, I did a collaboration with Aerosol. One we did also with Pauline. That collaboration was line. Also did one with a certain lady from. She was from Holland, if I'm correct. But the music is online. We did like a live performance at a whole show at Mashoko Festival. If you look up Quotable, Aerosol, and Su, the name is it's a Polish name, so it's kind of confuses me. But yeah.
All right.
Suniva, exactly. Sunivaberg, exactly. We did a collaboration with Sunivaberg. Yes.
All right, nice. Yeah. Let's talk about poetry slam. You also did perform and participate in. What was this initiative about, and how did it help anyone who participated in that platform?
Okay. The Mulomo Wako Poetry Slam came about from, like I said, we used to meet up and do ciphers, right? At the Centenary Park. Then we started, the first initiative was called the Southern African Hip Hop Initiative. Um, so we'll just ciphers and poetry slams in the Centenary Park. They would tell it, yo, let's take this thing to a bigger platform. Then, Torelo and I think Brian and them got together and they spoke with the National Art Gallery at the Bulawayo National Art Gallery, right? And they were given a platform for poets to come and perform there. So we'll do these live performances there, and crowds would come and watch the stuff live there. So yeah, it was something else.
All right. Did it get any support, maybe from the national level or even from the community around? How big was Lomoa Poetry Slam?
Yeah, we did get support, but locally though it didn't go as far as international, just local recognition, and from the art director and stuff like that. But it didn't go as far as we wanted to back then. But yeah, I think we have impact in Blawayo because up till now when I walk in Blawayo, I get people saying, "Yo, Quotable." But they still remember us from back in the day. That initiative was quite big, man. Because I
Yeah.
remember, I remember back in the day there, like I had no money on me. So I remember I would walk from home to town just to go and perform. I had so much love for music. I would sacrifice walking to town, no bus fare. Coming home as late as 12 o'clock. I remember my parents used to complain, like, "When going for it?" Because I'd come
Yeah.
back home like mid 12, from those shows. It was something else.
Yeah.
Crazy memories, man.
All right. So at what point did you decide then to
So yeah.
move from poetry and the other elements which are out there to fine art? And what are you doing as far as fine art is concerned?
Okay. How it is as a creative, you're always seeing things.
Yeah.
You're always seeing things. So like the art has always been there. So I just decided, I studied at Polytech as a graphic designer. Like that's what I studied at as a graphic designer. So there I studied art and design. So I then decided to like major in the art side of the design. I was more interested in the art side at the art and design school. So I'll do like some paintings and just venture into just into different art styles and stuff. Then I'm also did some graffiti art. Okay, I don't know if I should confess live on camera. I've tagged some walls at Blawayo Polytech. I did some graffiti art there. I tagged there, and because with hip hop, it's made up of four elements: is beatbox, graffiti, graffiti, the MC and the DJ. So I majored in the beatbox, the graffiti, and the MC. Those are some of the things that I majored in. So then I decided, what, let me just piss that thing. But you can ask.
All right. So with fine art, have you done anything on fine art that people can go out there and look at besides your illegal graffiti paintings?
I've got some stuff I've done with fine art. You can check my page out, Hennings. My page, Hennings. It's an art page. Or at Hennings Art. Speaking of art, these are some of my works, man.
All right. Nice.
Africa. I'm obsessed with Africa, man. I love painting Africa. I just love that.
Yeah.
Then I've got like my these I call them self-coloring canvas frames. You can fill that in. The coloring canvas for adults. There's a color books for the children. This is for the adults. If you want to relieve, you can just be filling in, or just hang it in. So that's some of the things now.
All right.
And you can check that out.
All right, fine. You've done your fine art. You're doing one of the things that you've also pursued is your love for writing. All right, your video was on there, so I'll take my question and then we'll try and get it out. Right. So then you've done the fine art, you've done your graphic designing, but your pursuit now seems to be more on writing, which is also something that started way back. Maybe if you can take us through your inspirational quotes, what was the vision around inspirational quotes, which I understand that you published by an American company, XCPs.
The motive behind the inspirational quotes, it all came from hip hop. My stage name is the most quotable, as you know. So I used to throw this crazy metaphor, like, you're too late, like twins. I got this crazy punchline I used to throw. So I decided, let me take it to a more mature level and write inspirational, daily motivational quotes just to give some hope, So what would happen every morning? I'll just wake up and I'll get an inspirational quote. I'll write it down. I'll just be writing down the quotes. So I decided, what? Why don't I publish quotes? So I've got a page. I've got a blog page. It's www.faithquotes.blogspot.com. I just started posting that daily quotes on my blogspot. If someone wants to go read and get inspired, they'll get that. To the point where I compiled so many. Actually, one of my inspirations is King Solomon, who wrote the book of Proverbs.
Yeah.
When I read the book of Proverbs, I thought, what, can't I make my own modern Proverbs? I know that one was godly inspired, but God still does inspire us, I don't think he only chose Solomon, he inspired us. So I said, what, why don't I make, because my book is called Modern Proverbs. That's the name of the book that I published. It's an American company called earGROUND. Modern Proverbs. It's a compilation of all my quotes. So basically what I do is I take a quote, then I break it down. Like I'll give you one example of my quotes is like, faith is a step that you take. I'm actually forgetting my quotes. I said faith is a step that Okay, I have to check one of my quotes, but I just compound a couple of them, and what I do is I break them down in my book. What I
Okay.
mean by that quote, the meaning
Okay.
of it, how it inspires you in life. For those who wonder, you can just go check out my page, Faith Quotes by Hennings Masikati.
All right. Nice. Still on talking about books, you have your books that seem to be themed on African elements. You have African themed color book, and then you have African cultural objects. And with your fine art, also just a few minutes ago, you say that you are obsessed with Africa. What is this
Africa.
about? What is the inspiration, and what are you trying to do? And also break down these two books, the African themed color book and the African cultural objects.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an African. As you can see, I'm doing this interview live in the jungle. I'm a
All right.
jungle boy. I love my Africa, man.
Yeah.
The African theme color book, which is this one, this is a children's book. It's a colored book. It's a children's. Basically, this book, what I realized that most coloring books are Eurocentric. You got the pandas inside. You got the bears. We don't have so you get coloring pandas and bears. I said we make
Yeah.
booklets with our children. At the same time, it comes in four languages, which is English, Shona, and Ndebele, and Swahili. The reason I put all those languages together is I want our children to learn those languages, and also get to understand the culture. Because you find in the book, like on the first page, the page where I talk about ugogo lomama, ugogo lokhulu, which is your grandfather and your grandmother, right? So
Right.
I then put a word in that written, respect your grandfather, respect your grandmother. In a way, I'm also trying to educate them that we should always respect the elderly. Because one thing about African culture is it has lots of respect of the elderly. If you notice, what makes us special as a people is the respect that we have for our elders. I'm not saying most races don't, but with Africa, it's a bit different. And I
Yeah.
also realized one thing, the motivation for this book, right? I realized, like, I don't know if you remember growing up, man. Um, my parents would tell me, don't stand in front of me when I'm eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these days, the kids can just stand right in front of you and like, Deepo, like, can I have what you're eating? They will know that respect. I kind of thought like, those values are important because even up to now, I still respect my dad. I still can't even stand in front of him when he's eating. That's the
Yeah.
respect I have for him, and has helped me even when I meet, when you meet important people, influential people, you have that kind of respect. You're already trained as a gentleman. So I want those things to be instilled back into the children. I'm not gonna force them in, but bit by bit, as they color in, as they learn, they'll get that thing will be instilled inside of them. So those are one of my goals with this book. Then
All
the
right.
other thing, which this is called cultural book. I'm also trying to teach the kids about because as Africa, we've always had inventors in Africa. Look at the instrument. That's one unique creation that I'm proud
Yeah.
of as a Zimbabwean. And I want to try to inspire the kids that you can have a little inventors. You don't have to. I know everyone wants to go to Silicon Valley, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Be in Zimbabwe own industry. And one of the things I'm pushing is like decolonization of the education system. I'm gonna decolonize the education system, and because look, I know we grew up learning these European things, European names, but why don't we learn African roots, African. That's my point. We learn African science. Why don't we learn, African ways of inventing stuff, of coming up with stuff? And even at the same time, I don't know if the government could do this for us, like develop industries that take up people with African knowledge instead of only looking out for people who go to Harvard School or people who go out to these type of schools. Let's be proud of who we are as a people. That's what I'm pushing for. Colonize, yes, civilization began in Africa. We look at the hieroglyphics, man. Up to now, some people can decide, decipher those
Yeah.
things, man. So that's what I'm pushing for with these books, the African thin color book and cultural objects book. I want the kids to know and start from a little age to appreciate who they are as a people, to invent things that are African based. We should have people fly from outside coming to take African educated people. Yeah.
All right, nice.
That's what I'm
Are
pushing.
these books in bookstores?
I put them in a couple of bookstores in Harare. You can find them the bookstore by SK. A couple of bookstores all over. I'll put the links. Then you can also buy them online. You can just order. So go to my page, the African Themes Coloring Book. You can find them too there.
Oh, all right. One of my passions is actually education and how it's delivered to us from a young age. Many problems with the system. But if you are going to change, let's say you're given an opportunity to change our education system, what will you change? The education system that educated you, what will you change in it?
I think the first thing I'll change is the syllabus. I'll totally flip the syllabus, and have people appreciate what we have, the resources we have, and the African education. I mean, I'm just fascinated. I mean, like, before pre-colonial era, okay, we were educated by our mothers, right? The mothers would educate the child, right? To a certain age, maybe to the age of about 6. Then at the age of 6, the father would educate the son, or if it's a daughter, they're educated by their mother. But the father would train the child to be able to manage and handle resources, which are the natural resources, the gold, the other things, like that, right? And these guys would survive. I mean, they're actually able to run a family, right? But when the colonial era came, when the colonialists came, what they did now is they educated us so that we can help them to manage the resources they stole from us. That's where I have a problem with education. I'm not saying education is bad, but I feel like the way to manipulate the African man to be, so that they can handle our resources. It's more of like, okay, I'm stealing from you, right? When you're gonna help me to manage what I stole from you. That's what they did to us. By saying that, because now, like, imagine back then when getting land was more of like a tribal thing. Now I have a certificate. I have to go to school. I have to university. I have to get this degree. Then I have to now get money to buy land. Back then, where you become the man. Then you divide the land among yourselves. When you divide the land among yourselves, you get that. But now it's more of like it's you have to have that certificate to get that land, which is what we want to decolonize. We want to go back to the original way of Africa.
All right, nice. Parting words. What are you working on? What can you look forward from Hennings going forward?
I'm looking forward is more books are coming out, man. I got more books that are coming out, African-based books. Watch out for more art that's coming out, more creativity. Hey, probably I'm gonna drop an album. I need to go back to the studio.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Hennings.
Thank you too, man.
Yeah, this is King Boaz signing out. That was Hennings, hip hop head. He's a fine artist. He's a graphic designer, now an author, and every other element of hip hop is trying to get to everything. And those are the books that are out there. If you're all African, you need to check them out. Now it's King Boaz. Next time.
Yeah.
earGROUND Radio. New voices amplified.